Operation Lycanthrope, I still have nightmares about that night. The night when the moon was full and the sky was red with blood. The night when the Nazis unleashed their secret weapon on us. The night when I saw my comrades torn apart by beasts that were once men. We were stationed in a small village near the German border, waiting for orders to advance. We had heard rumors of a strange facility hidden in the nearby forest, where the Nazis were conducting some kind of experiment. Some said they were trying to create super soldiers. Others said they were working on biological weapons. We didn't know what to expect, but we knew we had to stop them. Our squad was assigned to scout the area and look for any signs of enemy activity. We left our base at dusk, armed with rifles, grenades, and flashlights. We moved quietly through the woods, avoiding any roads or trails that might be mined or booby-trapped. We hoped to find the facility before dawn and report back to our commander. We never made it. We stumbled upon a clearing where we saw a large metal gate surrounded by barbed wire and guard towers. There was a sign above the gate that read Operation Lycanthrope. We didn't know what it meant, but we knew it was bad. We decided to get closer and see if we could find a way in. That's when we heard the howls. They came from behind the gate, loud and terrifying. They sounded like wolves, but also like humans in pain. We froze in fear, wondering what kind of creatures were making those noises. Then we saw them. The gate opened and dozens of figures emerged from the darkness. They looked like men, but they were covered in fur and had claws and fangs. They rushed towards us with incredible speed and strength, snarling and growling. We opened fire, but our bullets bounced off their tough hides. We threw grenades, but they seemed to have no effect. We tried to retreat, but they were too fast and too numerous. Our squad was quickly overwhelmed. I saw my friends being torn apart, their limbs ripped off, their throats torn out. I tried to run, but one of the beasts caught me by the leg and dragged me back. I screamed and fought, but it was no use. It lifted me up and threw me into a nearby building. I crashed through a window and landed on a pile of rubble. I was badly injured, bleeding from multiple wounds. I looked around and saw that I was in some kind of laboratory. There were tables with strange equipment, cages with animals and tanks with liquid. But what caught my attention was the figure standing in front of me. It was a man, but not like any man I had ever seen. He was tall and muscular, with long hair and a beard. He wore a lab coat, but his arms were covered in fur. His eyes were yellow and his teeth were sharp. He looked at me with a mix of curiosity and contempt. "You are the survivor," he said in a deep voice. "How interesting." I tried to crawl away, but he grabbed me by the neck and lifted me up. "Don't be afraid," he said. "You are part of a great experiment. We are creating a new breed of soldiers, stronger and faster than any human. You should be honored to be part of it." I gasped for air and kicked him in the groin. He grunted and let go of me. I scrambled to my feet and looked for a way out. But the door was locked and the windows were too high. The man chuckled and approached me again. "You are resilient. I'll give you that," he said. "But you are also foolish. You cannot escape. You cannot fight us. You are already infected. Infected. I looked at my wounds and saw that they were not healing. They were spreading, turning my flesh into something else, something hairy and rough, something monstrous. I screamed in horror and tried to cut off the infected parts with the scalpel I found on a nearby table, but it was too late. The transformation had already begun. I felt my bones cracking, my muscles expanding, my senses sharpening. I was becoming one of them, a lycanthrope, a werewolf. I howled in agony and rage and charged at the man who had done this to me. He smiled and drew a syringe from his pocket. "Ah, yes," he said, "the perfect subject, the first true lycanthrope. You will lead our army and conquer the world." I didn't hear his words. All I felt was the urge to kill, to tear apart everything and everyone around me, to avenge my fallen comrades and destroy the Nazis. I lunged at him, but he injected me with the syringe. I felt a cold liquid entering my veins, and then everything went black. When I woke up, I was in a different place, a place that smelled of blood and death, a place that was full of screams and howls, a place that was my new home, a home for monsters like me. The Nazis had succeeded in creating their super soldiers, but at what cost? At the cost of our humanity, at the cost of our souls, at the cost of our souls, at the cost of the world itself. I still have nightmares about that night. The night when I became a monster. The night when Operation Lycanthrope began. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.